105.7, man. Listen, I am so excited to talk to this dude right here because I have been following him for quite a long time. But I just want to say this over the past year, man, you have literally gotten us through the pandemic with all that you've done. DJ Cassidy, man, what's going on?
Keith, how are you?
Well, let me tell you this, I'm underdressed. That's how I am.
Look, I'm doing your show. You're a legend. You're an icon in your own right. I needed to step it up if I'm going to be speaking to you about Pass the Mic.
Well, man, I appreciate you doing that. And man, just let me say I appreciate Pass the Mic because just seeing some of the artists that you have brought back that we have not seen in quite some time was like really, really refreshing.
Thank you so much. You know, the past year has been a whirlwind for me. I have passed the mic to 153 legendary superstars.
Wow.
Iconic R&B and hip hop artists from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And for those listening who might not have seen the first 5 episodes, I'm just going to throw some names out there of people whom I have passed the mic to. Earth, Wind, and Fire, Kool and the Gang, El DeBarge, Shaka Khan, Boyz II Men, all 6 members of New Edition, Teddy Riley, TLC, SWV, En Vogue, Sheila E., Morris Day, Lisa, LL Cool J, Run DMC, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Salt and Pepper, Missy Elliott. The list goes on. And it's really been an incredible ride because it has touched people emotionally more than I would have ever imagined.
Yeah. I mean, to see Jody Watley, and I don't remember the last time I actually saw Jody Watley, but by the way, she looked incredible.
Incredible.
But what does it take to put all that together?
Well, you know, if it's cool with you, I'm going to back up a minute and just tell you how I thought of this all because it really does answer your question.
Okay.
It was late April 2020 in the heat of the quarantine, and I was FaceTiming with my friend and mentor, Verdine White of Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
And I called him to check on him, and he was lounging on his couch in red silk pajamas, exactly as you'd imagine him to be lounging.
Well, kind of like you are right now.
Exactly, you know. But, you know, he's my mentor, as I said. So, you know, I try to emulate that. And the song That's the Way of the World came on my speakers very serendipitously. And he starts singing along. Hearts of fire, create love, desire. And I got a chill down my spine, Keith. I said, how fortunate am I to have relationships with so many of my musical heroes? How lucky am I to experience their music in this way, in their company? And I said, with all that's going on in the world, is there any way that I could figure out how to give the feeling I have right now of connecting with my musical heroes on a personal level to people around the world? And I immediately thought of Pass the Mic, thought of the name, and I envisioned what it would look like. Me sitting in my living room, in front of the fireplace with the lights down low. I'd move the turntables to the coffee table. I would sit down for the first time because, you know, I had never sat down while I DJ'd ever. You know, it's a standing game. So I made the whole thing more personal, and I said, could I continue to call legends and see if they'd come on screen to sing along to a verse and a chorus of their iconic song? And what resulted was Pass the Mic Volume 1, a 30-minute kind of unprecedented thing in which I would go from iconic song to iconic song to iconic song, and every song I dropped, I'd bring on the legendary artist on screen to sing along. And in that first edition, this goes back to your question, I knew because I had no prototype, I had no video to show for it. I could only really call people whom I knew in some way, whom I had a relationship with, because they had to have some faith in me. They had to trust me. And so I called Verdine back the next day. I called Philip Bailey, Ray Parker Jr., Cheryl Lynn, Patrice Rushen, Denise Williams, Kool and the Gang. And I told them this crazy idea, and I will forever be indebted to them for taking a leap of faith before anyone else did it. And what resulted was Volume 1, and the rest is history.
So are there any artists who said no?
You know, there's maybe a handful of artists with whom it didn't work out, but mainly because of schedule. They weren't home where they felt they wanted to be to do it, or something like that. But really, the feedback with those few exclusions has been enormous. I mean, I'll tell you one quick story. In recruiting for Pass the Mic Volume 2, which was my hip-hop edition, where I celebrated the golden era of hip-hop, I united 37 of the most legendary artists of that era from about 83 to 93. I called Big Daddy Kane on his cell phone. Now, he performed at a birthday party of mine years ago, but I probably have never spoken to Big Daddy Kane on the phone. I didn't get him. I texted him. Before I could hit send on the text, he calls me back. And I go, Kane! And this is what he says. He goes, Cass, if you're calling me about that Pass the Mic thing you did, I'm in.
Wow.
And that just really symbolizes how hard that first one hit. And there was nothing normal about that call. I said wow too. I still say wow when I think about it. I am continuously shocked when I call artists to recruit them and they know all about the show. I still think no one's seen it. And of course, millions of people have. And it continues just to make me feel something special I can't explain every time an artist says, oh, I've seen all of them. Yeah. And I love it.
And not only once, but thank God for YouTube, we can watch it over and over again. So are there any names, because you've named a lot of folks that you've already done, but are there people that's like, hey, you know what, I still need to get this person? Who's that person?
Well, look, I have a show coming up on Sunday, which I'm sure we're going to touch on. So I don't want to reveal too much about that one, but I will tell you that one of my dreams is to have Stevie Wonder on the show.
Wow.
And another one of my dreams is to have Lionel Richie on the show.
Wow. Well, you know what, man? I'm sure you got folks who work with you, but wouldn't it be incredible to do like a Motown version that would include Stevie and Lionel and Diana Ross and the ones who are still with us from way back in the day, Motown?
For sure. Smokey.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's an incredible idea. If I ever do it, I'm for sure coming on your show to announce it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And see, I would love to see that, and I would love to see, and I know it's all about, the up-tempo music, but like a Quiet Storm version where you pull out Keith Bryson and Anita Baker and artists like that.
Well, Keith, I don't know if you knew, but that was a very either subconscious or clever pivot to talking about this weekend.
So is that what we got this week? Because I know this weekend is Mother's Day. You got Patti LaBelle. We know you have Johnny Gill. Okay, so this weekend is the BET Mother's Day edition. It airs Sunday at 9 p.m. on BET. Now, there are several things that make this show unique from the first 5. Number one, it is the first ballad-centric Pass the Mic show. So, Keith, you have nailed it. This is the Quiet Storm edition of Pass the Mic. Now, I don't call it that because I've never labeled these shows with a category name, meaning I never use the phrases New Jack Swing or hip hop. I want the viewers to put their own name to it because we all talk about music and art in our own ways. But I will tell you, this edition is the Quiet Storm edition. It is the first and only ballad-centric edition. And I chose to do that because I thought it was perfect for Mother's Day. This show is dedicated to mothers and women worldwide. And I truly believe mothers and women make the world go round. They are the foundation. And they are the center of love in the world. And I wanted to celebrate mothers, women, and all the love they give and all the love we have for them. And I thought, what better way to do that than a one-time ballad-centric Quiet Storm edition. And another reason this show is unique is because I normally focus on a genre, on a time period. I didn't do that this time. I chose instead to focus on an emotion, and that emotion is love. That's it.
So all the artists, male, female, younger, older, all the songs, no matter who it is, no matter what it is, they focus on love.
On love, man.
That is the emotion of the day. And so you mentioned Johnny Gill and Patti LaBelle. The third reason this show is unique is because I never reveal names, not even one or two. It's always a surprise. But I just wanted to do something special for moms. I just thought, you know, something extra special for mothers to look forward to. And so, yes, I have revealed that I'm passing the mic to Johnny Gill and Patti LaBelle. And what I can tell you, Keith, is if you love those two, and if your listeners love those two, I can assure you there's a dozen more where those came from.
Woo, man, I cannot wait. So Sunday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central here in DFW on BET. And it's the next Pass the Mic. This is going to be so incredible, man. I cannot wait to see this.
Thank you. Thank you. And for those listening, if you want to catch up on the first 5, if you're like, oh, how do I see TLC, SWV, En Vogue, Missy Elliott, Drew Hill, Genuine, Earth, Wind, and Fire, go to my YouTube page. It's that simple. YouTube.com/DJ Cassidy. You'll see the first 5 episodes. Watch them, comment, tell me what you think, put your favorites down, DM me, tweet me, comment on YouTube, have fun with it, and get ready for Sunday. And look, all I can tell you is set the mood, dim the lights, light the candles. If you're not with your mother, FaceTime her. I'm not going to be with mine. Put her on FaceTime. Watch it together. Watch with your loved ones. And if you happen to be alone, it's all good. Get a glass of wine, sit back, catch the vibe. It's all about love.
Man, that's it. And we love you, and I appreciate your time. Thank you for talking to us. I love that outfit, by the way. I really love that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But man,
I appreciate
I'm so excited about what you got going on this weekend, and so we will be checking it out on BET. DJ Cassidy, we're going to pass the mic once again, man. I appreciate your time. Thanks for checking in with us.
Thank you, Keith. I appreciate you.